contract, and we're also adding a service for the website, to manage our website.
That, she's on page 8, if those are the phone.
And for the trustees department, 52,400, hers is a 9.2, but it's because of her 4-year bond that she has to utilize. I think if you take the bond out, it's a 3% increase. The sheriff's department for the jail is at 8.1, but it's because of the smokeless tobacco. If you take that out, he's at a 4%. Civil defense there is 2 options in his budget. He is still asking for $20,000 in part-time, but he's reduced the other parts of his budget to stay within the 4%. But he has an alternative budget if you decide not to do the part-time, but he really said he needs the part-time.
I like how you put that over to the side, so it's visible, yes, thank you.
So you can see those differences. The ag extension, when they presented their budget, I believe they were talking about an open position that they've had open for, I think it's been a couple of years that they are just now filling, and that's why it's went up. You can see back in the 24-25 budget, it was already, we were paying like $75,000 back then. Soil conservation, theirs is up because they were asking to fill a district technician position, and I think they were asking all the counties to put in $12,000 for that. And I think that is everybody. That the EMS, once we put their raises down to 5%, they were within the 3%. It put them back into under the 4% increase overall. Does anybody have any questions? And Pete's here tonight if anybody has any questions on his alternative budget.
Some of this we just now getting, so let's let some of this sink in a little bit. But if anybody does have something to discuss, please let me know. Bottom line there,
Bottom line, $3,872,067. We're utilizing $1,727,933 of fund balance.
I don't think you cut enough stuff out of the balance.
yeah. No, you'd have
You'd have to cut, there's no way.
1.7 million out of it.
Yeah, Crystal is happy if we get that to $4 million.
Well, and it's not unusual for us.
Right, yeah.
To budget with a deficit and then
Yeah.
not end that way
Right.
necessarily. Yeah, 4 million, when doing this is kind of where we typically want to be. The estimated ending balance is what we've kind of used the last several years, I feel like. Commissioner Clark.
First off, for Pete, where you've moved this money to build up your part-time, I mean, none of that's anything that wouldn't be done through the year, should you need the part-time.
So, the reason why I went ahead and put It'd have to be a budget amendment.
Yeah.
It can be done, but it would have to come before the budget committee.
Well,
But
that's the way I was understanding it. So, you're not changing your money, the bottom line money any, you just want it readily at your disposal. Is it? I know what I'm meaning to say, I don't know if it's coming across that way.
I think,
You don't have any more money in your budget with either one of these, but what it does is instead of 5,000 or 5,500 in your part-time line, you'll have 20,000
Correct,
that you can spend without making any adjustments to it.
correct. The way that I'm using my part-time currently is I have a communications person that works 8 hours, approximately 8 hours every pay period. That way I can span it out through the cycle of the budget. This would allow me to work someone 24 hours a week instead of just 8 hours every 2 weeks, which would benefit me greatly, for the need that I have.
Okay. It's just that look, so you, in your alternate budget, you've taken it to the bone.
I have. I tried to stay within that 3%, 4% overall, and that's the best I can come up with. I looked at last year's expenditures, what I spent, monies that I had, where I'm at currently with my budget, and those were the numbers that I felt like I could cut to come back to that, to put that money in my part-time line item.
Well, does everybody realize what I'm saying, is that's, it's not just in his budget, it's in a spending line item. I've got one more thing while I'm talking. The new, what they handed out tonight, what the ladies handed out tonight, starts on page 17. $58,300. The numbers reflected in this are what was there last year, and if you remember, part of the way through the budget year last year, the Veterans Affairs officer, he retired. I emphasize that, he retired. The mayor, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Mayor, but you've been trying to hire a part-time Veterans Affairs officer, but you have not had any applications. This budget reflects a full-time Veterans Affairs officer, and since his retirement, Mr. Humphrey's going to work for the city. So I think we would be fine with a part-time Veterans Affairs officer. So in 105, I'm making a motion. In 105, the 36,499, if we made that 22,000, that would be $17.50 an hour, which Mr. Humphreys was making when he left, 3 days a week. That would do that. If you flip the page over, lines 338, maintenance and repair to vehicles, 355 travel, 425 gasoline, and 499 other charges. I include in the motion that they be set at 0, because a part-time Veterans Affairs officer won't be needing that. $5.99, did I say 4? That's leaving in there, office supplies and office equipment, because Mr. Bates or the next mayor is successful at filling this position, they may need a computer or something like that.
Your motion is to take out everything but 435 and 719? Office supplies and office equipment,
Yes.
okay.
And amend.
Is that the end of your motion?
That's the end of it.
Motion.
Can you read
So to
this?
clarify, Andy, can you clarify the motion there to remove, to adjust?
Line 105 goes to 22,000.
Okay,
338, 355, 425, and 599 go to zero.
so got a motion? Is there a second? A second by Commissioner Jordan. Discussion.
If one of the ladies has got it written down, read it one more time.
Line 58, 300, 105 would go to 22,000.
Yes.
Line 338 would be zeroed out, 355 would be zeroed out, 425 would be zeroed out, and 599 would be zeroed out.
I had missed one of those in my, thank you.
I shouldn't have put that piece of candy in my mouth right before I made a motion.
Any other discussion on the motion that's on the floor? Commissioner Pickett?
So essentially, we'd have two part-time, so the city has a part-time, the county would have a part-time to cover both of those, so they kind of complement each other.
Still covering
Essentially
full-time,
full-time,
basically,
yeah,
then,
okay.
what it sounds like. to
Okay.
me.
I don't see any reason they can't coordinate and
Yep.
have coverage 5 days a week at least.
And
How
I-
would you determine if you live in the city, you go to the city?
Well, I asked, the mayor about that when they instituted that, and he said he was there to help everybody in the county.
Ron's that two of you like the best.
Maybe that's what it is, who's got the best hair, I guess,
Okay.
I don't know, but.
But we essentially would have a full-time, between the two, you have
it's
sort of a
still-
full-time.
Yes, a full-time,
Okay.
yes, it's what it sounds that way. And that's kind of the thought process behind it.
And I'm sure those folks are very gracious with their time to give to the folks who are coming to help them, so they're not gonna, they're not gonna necessarily lock it into
Yeah.
how many hours it was, they're gonna do what needs to be.
The only discussion I'll add to this is I had talked to the mayor, about potentially getting some part-time office hours in the East Hickman area, because that is a drive to come down here to Centerville. And, had kind of worked out a little bit of a potential place to be able to do that and that sort of thing. So, I don't mind voting yes on this with the thought that if we need to add some gasoline and travel, that there may be a budget amendment to be able, I don't know where would report, where they live at, but, that might be a possibility.
I'd be glad to amend my motion. I was not aware of that. I believe that the part-time with the city is 3 days a week. If the 22,000 is enough for 3 days a week, that would be an overlapping day, and that would be a good day. The two of them can work that out. That would be a good day for that. If somebody wants to amend it to put travel back in it for that, but I would think that if that can be worked out, we can figure out the gas.
That's what I'd say too. I mean, it's not that much money if we have to, but I'm just saying that might be something that, like I said, Mayor and I.
There should be an overlapping day that would be great for that.
Good. Any other discussion?
Do you need a motion to amend that, or how do you want to handle that?
No, I'm fine. I think that it's small enough that we could, the next you know, we could address that in the commission if they need to travel. I think, you know, that's a reasonable, expectation, so. I'm fine with the motion the way it is, personally. Any other discussion? Roll call vote?
Matthew Barnhill.
Yes.
Paul Calipine.
Yes.
Clay Chester.
Yes.
Danny Clark.
Yes.
Steve Giovanni.
Yes.
Jim Heron.
Yes.
Dusty Jordan.
Yes.
Ron Mayberry.
Yes.
Ricky Murray. Devin Pickard.
Yes.
Ron Puckett.
Yes.
Wayne Thompson is absent. 11 yes.
11 yes, motion carries.
I'm through for a minute.
Okay. I feel like, you know, the EMA is probably one we need to discuss, and based off of the information that's on page 14, and we want to accept the proposed or the alternate budget on that. Or any preferences or thoughts on that particular part. Commissioner.
Whatever we decide to do, I appreciate, and I know it was perhaps a big ask for just early this week to say, hey, by Thursday, have it cut, and I appreciate what you did, Pete. I know it took a lot of work, and appreciate all the department heads. I mean, everybody really is a team player, and they've done such a good job of trying to, with, as best they could, keep it within those parameters. You know, I think the ice storm, most recent, really showed us how blessed we are to have folks like Pete and Sarah, and the folks who are helping them to do what they did. We never know when those things are gonna happen. I know they worked a whole lot of hours and did a lot of things, so I'm certainly for trying to help him as much as we can to give them a little breathing room, because I know they've probably felt the burden of being overworked, especially since, you know, during the ice storm. And I think they're certainly an attribute to our community, and we want to, you know, I'm for helping however we can within reason, for sure.
Anything else you done?
I'm done for now.
Okay. Commissioner Clark?
He's keeping the bottom line within what we asked, but I would caution the director, I won't be here, but if you're cut to the bone and spending that money on part-time, you come in with a budget amendment this close to it, it's gonna be a budget amendment coming out of the, fund balance. I don't know how much attention you pay, but that is a different ballgame than moving money around within your budget. So I would ponder that before I'll put it on you, I'll vote yes to either one of them, but if you cut this close and need $2,000, I've watched this for a long time. Whatever you move in your budget floats through here, but 50 cents coming out of the general fund will bring on a lot of conversation. Do you, understanding that, do you still want to put 20,000 over into the part-time?
Everybody in this room's had to make some tough decisions, and after a lot of thought, knowing what I need as far as a director of EMA, the expenditures that I've done this past year, I really need that money in that part-time line item, and I'm gonna try to do the best I can to stay within those means of the same thing I've done this year. I took all those numbers based off of what I spent this year off of my budget, and, I'm honestly hoping and praying for a better year next year.
This is, I've wondered when I was gonna talk about this. It appears that right now is a good time. The what do you think of the budget, Mr. Mayor? But wait before you answer. All of this, after the sheriff, is under the mayor. The department heads are not elected officials. What we've gotten away from is the mayor's endorsement on the department head's budget. They just come in and present it as if, just like the sheriff. I've said many times, there's only two people in the county that can tell the sheriff what to do, and neither one of them are county commissioners. The judge and his wife, that's it. Department heads don't have that. They've got somebody over them, and that is the mayor. And it occurred to me the other night that I would think that the mayor would present these budgets and the department head would stand there with them to answer any questions. And I would hope, Mr. Giannakis, if you're chairman of the budget committee next year, that be the procedure. Whoever is the mayor does not approve the budgets that are under him, it doesn't get a day in here.
That's the way we used to do it.
That's Dusty's been around for a while like me, and somehow we got away from that. And the department heads are presenting directly to us and politicking for their budgets, and it's not just Pete, that's just the way that it happened, and we allowed it to happen. But I think this is a good time to say that. I think going forward, if the mayor, we've got some candidates for mayor, if the mayor doesn't support the budget, the county commission doesn't hear it. And if he does, and the weight of the mayor's office goes in with the budget. But that's for those of you that'll be here next time this is done, and that's not gonna be me. And I'll try to be quiet for a minute.
You want the mayor to
I think,
answer your
like I say, I think you asked the mayor.
You asked me something and he said, don't answer right now, you stop.
Do you endorse, do you have a preference on it? Because like me, you're a short timer, you're not running again.
I understand. Commissioner, let me say, first of all, every budget that my directors do comes over my desk. I see it firsthand. When I was over EMS, I came and gave my budget to county commission, or to it wasn't all the whole like it is now. It was, the ambulance committee I had to go through, and then the budget committee we went through, and then it finally comes to everybody. Of course, you know that, you've been here a while. So I just kind of fell into that habit of letting my directors ask for what they thought they needed on the budgets. Since we went back to the drawing board, and I talked to Pete today about it, matter of fact, where he stood on this, because like you, I got a little bit of reserve. He needs the help. I'll say that 100%. He's got to have somebody there that will help. I mean, we're 3 disasters in, and he's still working on the third 3 ago. Well, we had AES, we had Winter Storm Fern, on top of what he was already working on. Well, he can't stop what he was doing to try to catch the other 2 up. There's just not enough people to do it. One person would greatly add an addition. But to keep that down, I talked to Pete, we decided to go with a part-time, putting money over into the part-time budget, and maybe that would suffice for having an extra person there at least 24 hours a week. And I asked him specifically, are you sure this is not gonna affect any other thing? He says it won't, and I believe him, because I know what he's done with the budgets so far, that he's working under now. And he's, Crystal, you can correct me if I'm wrong, he's come right in on this budget that we're on now. He's where he's supposed to be. And it's all about managing money at this point within your department. That answer your question? told him to ask for what he thought he needed. Now that we got an alternative, if he says he needs the 20,000 in there for part-time, I will accept that.
Well, that's, and I would hope going forward that commissioners get back in the habit of looking to the mayor on all those department heads that are under his budget. When I was in the construction business, nothing would make me madder. I would be building a house for somebody, but I would get very upset if they addressed my employees. That's my job,
Understand?
that they would talk to me. And I think it would be better served, especially with as many new commissioners that we're gonna have, if we got, if, and you and I aren't gonna be part of it, Jim, but if we got back in the habit of that.
And I probably should have been doing it from day one like that, but I'm just going on prior mayorships as to when I was on EMS.
So based off of that, does anybody wanna make a motion, or Commissioner Clark?
I'll make the motion to approve this budget with the 20,000 part-time help.
I got a motion by Commissioner Clark, second by Commissioner Jordan in regards to the civil defense budget as presented, not the one that's on the right, but the one that's in the actual line of the other budgeted items. Any discussion?
Who was the second?
Commissioner Jordan? Roll call vote?
Matthew Barnhill.
Yes.
Paul Calabro.
Yes.
Clay Chester.
Yes.
Danny Clark.
Yes.
Steve Genoff.
Yes.
Jim Herring.
Yes.
Dustin Jordan.
Yes.
Ron Mayberry.
Yes.
Ricky Murray.
Yes.
Devin Pickard.
Yes.
Ron Puckett.
Yes.
11 yes.
11 yes, motion carries. Any other, obviously that one, because there was an alternate budget, I wanted to kind of get that out of the way, but is there any other parts of the budget that we need to discuss on 101? Commissioner Jordan?
Commissioner, you said at the beginning that all but, the ones that were highlighted, election commission and sheriff and votes, that everybody else met the 3% salary, 4% growth, right?
Yes, sir.
So everybody, don't call me sir, I'm old. So we've got every department so far, everybody at 101 is where we ask them to be.
Everybody's where you asked them, except for, like I said, the
Right.
things that we.
Special
Right.
exceptions, basically.
Yeah.
Let's just call them special
Yeah.
exceptions.
Now I make a motion to approve 101.
I got a motion by Commissioner Jordan, second by Commissioner Barnhill to approve 101 as we have in front of us and has been amended. Any discussion? If not, roll call vote.
Ron Puckett.
Yes.
Matthew Barnhill.
Yes.
Paul Calabro.
Yes.
Clay Chester.
Yes.
Danny Clark.
Yes.
Steve Genoff.
Yes.
Jim Herring.
Yes.
Dustin Jordan.
Yes.
Ron Mayberry.
Yes.
Ricky Murray.
Yes.
Devin Pickard.
Yes.
11 yes.
11 yes, motion carries. Crystal, I believe, out of the rest of the budget that we have, 151 is one that, did we approve that the other night?
I think we approved one.
I'm sorry, 131.
Right.
We have not approved 131. So that's the highway. I would suggest that we look at that budget next. All the other ones we approved, right?
Yes. Except for school and 207.
Yeah, school 207, but 207 will likely come back to us from the solid waste committee with a recommendation or a approved vote.
While we're on that, the solid waste committee meeting is 4th, it's the first Monday, and that will be 4th of May. I want to invite all y'all here and anybody that's out in the audience that wants to come and listen. So you can see what's going on. Obviously, the solid waste committee members there too. So,
Thank you. All right, so let's talk, budget 131, Fund 131. Any initial thoughts or concerns, questions, or motions? I'll take them all.
Yeah.
Looking at this budget, it looks like the revenues are coming in, I think less than 1%. If I'm not mistaken. Here. I'm sorry, it's 2%, and the expenditures are at 6%.
We're just a yes or no on this, right? In the highway department.
Right.
I believe that's right.
I mean, it's either of, I mean, this is what they've handed us. I mean, estimated any fund balance, $300,000.
305.
Oh, excuse me, I apologize, Crystal. I apologize for that, 305, that makes it so much better. Every 5,000 helps, doesn't it? So, but if that's the budget that they've sent to us, then, now you said a 2% increase.
When I looked at the revenues, I was listening at the revenue.
That's, I mean, that's not, pennies increase on the, where that revenue's coming from, correct? Or is it?
No, it's what they normally
Right,
get.
okay.
Yeah, that's based off of the, keeping it, reducing it.
Yeah. I mean, the highway department's all right with the 305, then I'll make a motion to approve.
Got a motion by Commissioner Colacott, seconded by Commissioner Mayberry. Any discussion on 131? Roll call vote?
Devin Pickard,
Yes.
Ron Bucket,
Yes.
Matthew Barnhill,
Yes.
Paul Calabott.
Yes.
Clay Chester.
Yes.
Danny Clark.
Yes.
Steve Giannakis.
Yes.
Jim Heron,
Yes.
Dusty Jordan.
Yes.
Ron Mayberry.
Yes.
Ricky Murray.
Yes.
11 yes.
11 yes, motion carries. Believe we have, there's all really budget work we can do tonight based off of the budgets that we have. The next meeting that was scheduled was April the 30th. I would think that we could cancel that, so I don't see any reason unless somebody else sees a reason to leave it. So we will cancel that meeting on April the 30th. Of course, we have a full commission meeting Monday. May the 7th is when the school will present their budget. And I believe I'm trying to find my schedule. On the May 18th, is there any way we can move that to the 19th? Crystal?
I'm okay with it,
That's a Tuesday versus a Monday.
yeah, I mean, it's fine with me, if everybody else.
Does anybody else have a known conflict that, moving that from Monday to Tuesday? And Ron, you'll like that because I won't be here on the 18th, so.
Yeah, my tape looks good.
Okay.
That's just for the public hearing.
That's for the public hearing, that is correct, okay. If there's no objection, then we will move that from the 18th to the 19th, same time. That'll be the public hearing, and that still gets it out in plenty of time for us to do what we need to do, right, Crystal? Okay. Any other, Commissioner Clark?
The public notices, I'm sure sure you'll take care of that.
Crystal will.
Take care of the public notices on, which is, I'd hate to forget that.
Changes up, cause the paper comes out now on Thursday, I think a little bit, right, I'm sure. Any other business that needs to be discussed? And if not,
Motion to adjourn.
a motion by Commissioner Jordan, second by Commissioner Murray. All in favor, say aye. Aye.